Okay.
Hi, I'm Grant Brown, Managing Director of CONQRA Eziyaka. The product I'm about to introduce you to and show you an installation of is the Eziyaka precast concrete foundation pad. Primarily, it's a low-bearing element in the bottom of a timber foundation, whether it be a square-cut timber pile or a large circular tanner pole, often used in the construction of retaining walls, etc., etc. When it's used underneath the large tanner poles, building contractors like to use the bigger foundation pad. When it's lowered and installed into the bottom of the foundation pad, it creates a nice even bearing surface for them to roll the bigger tanner poles around on, align them and simply brace them against the bank. A lot of foundation companies doing large retaining walls use the pad purely for the fact that, particularly when the bottom of the foundation is full of mud, the machine has lifted the pole up and choked it in with a chain, typically because they weigh quite a few hundred kgs, and sometimes it creates that firm base. The pole's not going into the mud, which then negates any form of alignment. So let's get a little bit into it. I hold class 1 and 2 of a accredited installer for foundations, LBP. It's a class that I have. 35 years experience. I came across this idea 15 odd years ago when I was working with the building inspector, where we had a lot of water in the bottom of the foundation table. So what we have here is we have two sizes of the pad. They're 100 millimeters thick. Two sizes, as I was saying, a 260 round classes for the ordinary pile in the building standard, and the 370 does the anchor and the brace. The product's held code mark for the last 20 years. It was the third product ever to have it. However, in saying that, we are probably going to shift over to a brands appraisal as the code mark is revamped within the industry. Currently, the pad crusher's strength is 28 to 31 MPa, far exceeding the 17.5 requirement. When they're distributed nationwide, this is a free of charge complimentary kit so that the builder uses the right technique in installing them. In the installation kit is the hook that goes onto one end of the, in this case I've used a stick, and a ply compactor. There's 2 nails in there to install the ply compactor on one end, and 3 staples to install the hook at the other end. In the base of the Eziyaka, we have an inverted area here. It's conical, so that when the hook comes through, it's turned as a quarter turn, engaging the hook underneath and making it safe and secure so it doesn't fall off on the building contractor's foot. Simple quarter turn, disengages it. Same principle for in the bottom of the foundation. So what we'll do is we'll install the smaller unit, the 260. In the bottom of an excavation typical of this, if it's hand dug, it's normally pretty level. If it's a mechanically bored one, quite often they're out of level. So what we do there is we simply bit of sand, bit of pea gravel, spread it into the excavation on the area where it needs to be leveled up. Using the ply compactor on the other end, we simply tamper the bottom of the area where the foundation pad is going to be settling. And at this point we then engage the lifting eye with the hook. Quarter turn as we suggested. It's placed in the bottom of the foundation. Another quarter turn, disengages the hook and leaves the pad in the bottom of the hole. The kits are supplied free of charge. It's not advantageous to try and drop the foundation pad into the bottom of the hole. From this point here, it's a very easy practice to install a square cut timber pile as such. Simply place the timber pile on top of the foundation pad. 10 times out of 10, the foundation pile will stand pretty well plumb. Eliminates a lot of bracing that typically the builder would try and align the poles with prior to concrete pouring, and it also negates the technique called plunging, where the builders fill a lot of the holes up in a line and go along and try and plunge the poles into position without bracing. Hazardous. Ugly technique, takes the guys a long time to do. They take a lot of air down, the piles float. Another good aspect of this is once it's lined up to a string line, the builder can simply lie them back in the hole when he's not using and ready for the concrete, brings them along, simply stands them up to the string line once again, and away he goes. Very, very easy installation. And typically I've used a smaller stick here for it. A builder would probably use 50 by 50 batten for getting the biggest 370 unit into the bottom of the hole. Very, very easy installation. Thank you.